title reads, Have I Ruined My Relationship? So I read the first paragraph and it intrigued me. So let's see what this female poster has to say. She says, Hi everyone, I need some advice. I'm a 30-year-old female. Recently told my 30-year-old boyfriend about my past intimacy. Brackets just foreplay with one ex. I've never had sex and now I'm regretting it deeply. Well, you should never discuss your previous sexual encounters to your current boyfriend because it just causes more issues than it's worth. However, I respect the honesty from her telling her boyfriend. But wait, she's 30 years old and she's a virgin? Like, from this guy's point of view, sure that's the jackpot, right? Because, of course, for the majority of men, they don't like hearing about their current girlfriend and her sexual escapades before that they met each other. So, given that she's a virgin and she's just done foreplay with a previous boyfriend, I feel like this guy should be jumping for joy. Like, that's the dream, right? Like, there shouldn't be too much to be worried about. Unless he went into this thinking like she hasn't had any sexual experiences at all. Maybe he's quite a religious guy. Maybe he hasn't had any sexual experiences himself, so he wants them both to be on the same level, so to speak. But let's find out what's messed up this guy from what she said. She says he has a past too. Okay, that's answered my question right there. And actually, more than mine. Since telling him he hasn't changed, he's still loving, buys me gifts, says he wants to marry me, and even wants to meet my parents. So they haven't met their parents yet, so I'm guessing this is a very early relationship. So again, I respect them having this conversation early on just to make sure everyone, agrees with the past and it's not going to cause any issues going forward. He reassured me multiple times that he would never bring my past up negatively and that he's not like other men who judge their partners for these things. Well, there's nothing to really judge here. Like, she's just done some foreplay with a previous sexual partner. Like, it's not that deep. But yeah, I think it's completely okay for a man or a woman to have boundaries when it comes to their partner's sexual past, especially if it's something quite crazy. I think for us guys, you just got to accept that the woman you're probably dating, she probably does have a sexual past and she probably is in the double digits. And I think that's going to be the average now. Like 10 plus probably will be the average. Now it's up to the guy to say if he's okay with that. Because again, it's completely fine to have certain boundaries. You're allowed to find attractiveness in whatever you feel is right and be turned off by whatever you feel is right. So yeah, he has a bit more of a sexual past, so it's not like he's going to come at this from a religious point of view, that's for sure. Um, Despite all this, I can't stop worrying. I fear he might secretly think less of me because of my past, and I worry that over time he might hold it against me or that he'll stop valuing me. Well, that's a possibility, but from his actions since you told him, it doesn't sound like he's done that. But my question is, why did you bring it up in the first place? Was it to make him jealous, or was it something you felt guilty about? I feel like I ruined everything by telling him, even though I was being honest and blame myself, and I feel like I could never forgive myself for sharing this. He might actually view this as a positive thing. He might be like, wow, like she maybe felt guilty about this and she was honest to me about it. And I feel much more comfortable with her now, knowing that I can trust her because she will tell me about things that she feels uncomfortable about. Because you see a lot in these relationships, people not having these uncomfortable conversations and keeping it to themselves, which makes the other partner think, okay, there's something this person's hiding, and I can't truly open up to this person or can't truly love this person because I know there's something they're not being truthful about. So I think this is only a positive thing, and I think this girl's worrying about nothing. Like I said, he's probably jumping for joy knowing that she's not like the other girls who might have a bit more of an adventurous past, which might make him feel uncomfortable. I know some people say that you should never tell about your past, but also feel like a good partner wouldn't treat me differently because of it. So, but look, I guess you could say that the partner you're going to have a very happy long term relationship with will be able to look past things and accept you for who you are. So I agree with that. So if he does have a bad feeling towards you doing oral with a previous ex-partner, then yeah, he's probably not the right guy for you because he won't be able to let go of that, and it's just going to cause more issues down the line. But again, it doesn't sound like he has any issue. It sounds like she's creating this story and getting tied up over nothing. I'd never judge him for his past. Well, yeah, you wouldn't judge him for his past because it is different for men and women. That's just how it is. You know, don't argue me about that. Argue with the big man upstairs who created us. It is easier for a woman to have a sexual history because men are pigs and men like to have sex with women, so it makes it easier for women to have a sexual past. Well, a man needs to be good looking and have status to sleep with multiple men. Oh, sleep with multiple women, I should say. I'll never judge him for his past. I want the same respect in return. He hasn't showed you any non-respect though, so I don't know where she's getting that from. I also regret acting all miserable after telling him and fear he'll think I'm a weak person. I don't know what this woman's been reading, but she's getting all tied up over nothing from my point of view. I think this is all positive. His reaction was positive, and I think he will view you in a better light now that you've told him. I'm looking for advice on how to stop obsessing over my past and these fears, how to focus on the present and trust that his love is genuine, how to forgive myself for being honest. Maybe she's getting tied up because she's had a past experience where a man has brought this up and shamed her for it. But if she's being honest, she's only had one sexual encounter in the past. I don't know how that would be possible. Maybe she's read online about guys S shaming certain women. But again, this woman is in like the 0.1%. Like, she does not have a sexual past compared to most women, so she shouldn't be comparing herself to other women. This is, you know, she's a virgin, but of course she's done some oral in the past, but this is very minute. So I think she's worrying over nothing. But on the subject of speaking about past relationships and past sexual partners, I would avoid it because I just think it's going to only cause issues. But I think as a guy, sort of from a guy's point of view, because I am a guy, I think it is important just to be aware of your woman's past. I wouldn't say have that conversation with her, but you can pick stuff up over the years. You can pick up conversations with what she says because she always lets the truth slip out. Her friends will let the truth slip out. So just be aware of her past without actually having that direct conversation with her because it's never going to end well and she probably won't even tell you the truth anyway. Anyway, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
GG.